everybody, it's Jim. I'm down on the U.S.-Mexico border. It's the United Constitutional Patriots. And I wanted to give you guys an update. We've had a couple trains that go through here regularly. Again, there's the wall. That's where the wall ends, okay? And a lot of times you've seen videos of us capturing them up in the hills, as well as the field that usually you can see across from this train. Now, the reason I bring up this particular train is because last night in a video I couldn't show you, we actually had a guy that was talking on a cell phone that was hiding 5 people on the train as it went by, and we caught it because we heard a guy yelling on the cell phone talking underneath the train, and you know, he was screaming, talking on the phone, holding on while the train went by. So we stopped the train, and of course it takes a little while to stop the train. The guys ran after the train the best they could. They couldn't stop it. They couldn't, I mean, they should say they couldn't get on the train, but we were able to stop the train, and we apprehended 5 major fugitives, and we caught a coyote. That's a huge apprehension in this deal. Now, if you look at this train, this is one of them we stopped today. Well, actually, we stopped 2 trains today.
Inside you. Inside here. Look through that hole.
Okay, if you look in here, see the socks and stuff? These guys use these trains, and this is how the ones that are wanting to get undetected, or some of them that have drugs that want to just hop the border and jump, this is what they're doing, is they're getting on these trains. And of course, when they're going by 115 cars and they're going by at 50, 60 miles an hour, it's very rare that you're going to catch people riding the train. So it's kind of a free passage out. Well, we caught a group last night, and so Viper and Stinger were on this thing last night. If you know those two, they're in all the videos. So this morning, we decided that we would pay extra attention to the trains going by. And sure enough, Stinger went up on the hill over there. There's a hill on the other side of the train so he could get elevated. And Viper stayed down close to kind of by where I am. And watching the train go by, well, guess what? There was another 3 that we detected on one of the box cars. And then right down there where I'm pointing that hill, another guy actually jumped and got on the train as it was moving by. Now, we witnessed all of this only because the trains were brought to our attention from our catch last night. So we ended up calling BP. They contacted the train, and so they stopped that train probably about 3 or 4 miles down. Now, I can't get a video of that because I'm not down on that end, and that's not where I'm at. But this train was one that came up behind it, and so this one stopped now. And we've got a helicopter in the area just in case there was anybody else on the train that we didn't see to cover the area. But keep in mind, guys, there's like 5 different groups of people coming across the border. You've got the ones claiming asylum, the families, they just kind of surrender to you because they know they're going to get processed, they know they're going to get released, that we're going to give them some pocket change, they're going to get to where they need to go. Now, keep in mind, the coyotes use these people as a distraction because sometimes the people trying to get in are fugitives. They could have ties to terrorism. They could be bringing in drugs, and those are the people that they want to get in. That's the high-paying dollar. Those are the ones that are going to pay $25,000, $30,000 to get into the United States, and we won't have a record of that. If they get by us undetected because we're tied up with asylum people, then the numbers that you hear reported by Department of Homeland Security don't reflect that we just had 8 or 9 major felons or whatever you want to call them, fugitives from the law from other countries that came into the United States. And because this is a business, and that's the only way you can look at this is as a business, this operation continues to move. So now that we've caught onto the train, and they see us stopping trains, obviously now it's going to get a little more hairy because now they got to go back to the drawing board and say, okay, they're watching the train, now how do we get by them? because we've located some of their tunnels. They continue to change the pattern of the way they come in. And again, they'll drop a group of 200 people that just put their hands up and say asylum so that they can throw 2 or 3 border agents off the border, so that while they're dealing with that and getting those people processed, they're actually able to go ahead and do stuff like this, like the train. And the train is even a disadvantage for us, because if you look through, I'm going to walk you guys to the other side of the train, show you what this looks like. You can see that's usually what we're watching, is that field right there. So if I want to use the train and I'm a illegal or a fugitive coming in, I'm going to come through the border here, and I can run up over the hill, and if I time it right, I go down the hill on the other side of the tracks, that train comes by. I've got about maybe 8 or 9 minutes of complete cover from anybody being able to see me, especially at night. Nighttime, even with night vision goggles and thermo vision on the hill, it doesn't matter, because if you're stuck on this side of the train and the train's moving, you're not going to get across the tracks. So I just wanted to show that to you guys, because it was kind of a new revelation to the Border Patrol that they were using the trains. People have said, well, you know, what are some of the things that you guys are doing that's adding to what the Border Patrol's doing? This is one of them. Sounds dumb, but these are legitimate. When they're on the train, these aren't usually just people looking for asylum. These are people that are running, that are evading. There's a reason they're on the train. Because again, the way our laws are right now, you walk across that fence and you don't even need to bring any money with you, because they're going to put you up in a hotel. They're going to get you a bus ticket. They're going to take care of you until you get to where you need to go. And there's even charities down here on the border that are raising money to help these people, selling candy bars. You know, then you got all these people that want to get rid of the Border Patrol, rip the wall down altogether, and, you know, just have an open border and let everybody in. And then there's people that say that this isn't a crisis. And, you know, my goal down here is to show you guys that this is a crisis. And, you know, when you have agents down here that can only spend so much time and so much energy on a certain area, while the real danger, the real threat to the country is making moves and continues to change their strategy, you have to understand that dangerous people are getting into the country. And if we weren't down here, I can tell you right now that there's about 100 people that are dangerous people that don't belong anywhere near the United States, that the Border Patrol wouldn't have caught, only because they don't have the resources, and we don't have a wall to deter these people from running into the Wild West here, taking over the mountain, and you know, basically having a free-for-all. So it is an issue. And while I'm talking to you guys on the phone, we got some activity here. Take a look. And this is on the Mexico side, right on the U.S. border, Mexico side. You see those guys up on the hill there? You might not be able to see them. They're wearing green. Okay, now those are probably spotters. They haven't tried to cross yet. But that's literally you see where that white, you probably can't even see it, the white monument. But if you see that white monument over there, that is actually the border line. They're right behind the border. So we're going to keep an eye on that activity, because that's right next to the wall. And a lot of times where the wall ends right there, you'll have a car roll up and they'll dump a group of people. And then depending on who wants to come in undetected, they'll run into the little bowl you see right here, or we might catch them over the tracks. And then while that's happening, you may have a group go behind the hill, and then they'll follow little paths and hide through the mountains here. And you know, they're coming in from all over is the point I'm trying to make. There's a lot of people crossing the border. And I mean, the other day I did a video where we caught 38 Brazilians. And we had just got done with that. We had 4 trucks tied up. Everybody got loaded up and got sent to the processing center. And we were driving out of that area, and we looked to our right, and literally on the highway in El Paso, on the side of the highway, there was a caravan that somehow got by everybody of about 28 people walking down the side of the freeway with their luggage. If that doesn't tell you what we're dealing with here, I don't know what does. I mean, you can't make it up. I'm like, holy man, they're on the side of the freeway. So what that tells me is those people had to cross the river. They had to walk down the side of the deal, and they were probably doing all of this, and why they got by undetected is because everybody was tied up with the 38 Brazilians. So, you know, when you don't have the manpower, when you don't have the proper amount of barrier in place, when you don't have the resources to protect your border, and then on top of that, you have a country that doesn't want to enforce its own immigration laws, this is what you end up with. And unfortunately, like I tell you guys over and over, most of this war that's being fought on the border is out of public sight because it's this area of lands where the activity happens. And if they get past this land, if they get past us, you wouldn't know there's a problem anyway, because they're not going to come out and start causing problems. They're going to sneak to wherever they need to go. They're going to try to be undetected, just like they try to get by us undetected in here. And so I do have an interesting interview today with ABC. They're supposed to be matching me with a liberal. I'm going in studio for 30 minutes down here. I think it's KVIO or something like that. I'm doing that at 2:15, and I believe it airs on Sunday night. But it's specifically to talk about our version from here about the border. And, you know, they told me ahead of time, you know, we're going to get a liberal. We're going to get a guy that's for the border. And I can't wait because I'm going to eat this guy alive. But we have to get the message out to people that this is a problem. They need to know what's going on in their backyard. This is the stuff that's not being shown on the news. This is the stuff they're not going to tell you. And if you're really curious and you really want to know the truth, go to any part of the U.S.-Mexico border, walk up to a Border Patrol truck and ask those guys, do we need help? Do we have a problem? Do we have a crisis? Okay? Some of those border patrols, they're liberals. Some of them are Republicans. But they all agree on one thing, that this is a crisis. It's a national emergency, and we need more border patrol. We need a wall. We need immigration reform in the laws, but only if we're going to enforce them. If we're not going to enforce our own laws, there's no point in having laws. And that's what we're fighting for down here, is the fact that either we're going to be a country who just opens up our borders and lets every Tom, Joe, and Harry in, whether they're a terrorist or a rapist or a, you know, or just a family because they want to come over here to take somebody else's job. Okay, whatever reason is for coming over here, you can't have it both ways. Either you have immigration and you have a border and people follow the rules, and it may not be perfect, and it may need more judges, you may need more things. I agree, waiting 14 years to become a citizen, to get into the United States, I agree, we could probably do better. I agree with that. But if you're not going to enforce the border, why have a border? And the people that are ignoring what's going on at the border here, that's basically what they're saying is we don't care whether or not we have a border. Because if all we're doing is catching them, processing them, and releasing them back into the community, and we're paying for them, we actually pay, give them money when they get here. Anybody who tells you that we don't do that is a liar. We give them money. So, that being said, I'll probably have video later tonight, but right now I'm going to be headed to the TV station here in a little bit for the half-hour debate. And then I'm going to try to get you guys some live video from tonight's action. We plan on going to a real heavy area, and so I plan on bringing you some more videos. There's never an end to the action around here. It's just that sometimes I can catch it live on camera, sometimes I can't. But tonight I hope to bring you guys some more video to show you what's going on. I appreciate you guys sharing these videos. You know, again, I'm trying to give you guys an arsenal so that if you are talking to somebody who thinks that this is all just some fabricated joke, you know, you can show them the real truth of what's going on. Sometimes a picture's worth 1,000 words, where other times, not seeing it, you don't have the same vantage point. So anyway, this is Jim. If you want to follow another page, United Constitutional Patriots, New Mexico Border Ops. That is the group that we are. We're down here camped on the border. We plan on being here until we get some type of border security. We have retired military, ex-military, special forces, ex-law enforcement. You know, if you fit that category and you don't mind taking orders and you want to come down here and, you know, we camp 24/7. We're a very structured organization. We'd love to have you down here. We do need help. The more people that we can put out, we have other camps, other areas where the border is weak, and if we get enough people organized, we're going to be able to set those people up in camps and help the Border Patrol even more. So share these videos, guys. Let everybody know what's going on. And like I said, we're going to keep an eye on those guys on the hill there. I don't know if you guys are able to see them or not from here. I'm about a football field away. They're just sitting on the hill. I don't know if they're spotters or what they're doing, but until they cross, there's not much I can do about it. So I'll keep you guys updated, and I'll talk to you guys later. Thanks for watching, following us, and thanks for sharing the videos.